Good morning and welcome to the regular meeting of City Council for Monday, November 1st, 2021. Council will meet in a hybrid format until further notice. We encourage speakers to continue joining virtually as there will be a limited number of seats available in council chambers. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Here.
Ms. Gross.
Here.
Mr. Kraus. Mr. Lavelle.
Here.
Mr. O'Connor. Ms. Strasburg.
Here.
Ms. Wilson.
Here.
Mrs. Cal Smith. Reverend Burgess, President.
Here.
6 members present.
Thank you very much. As we join from our remote locations, and those of us who are in the chambers, please rise for the pledges of allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen and amen. You may be seated. Our next order of business is proclamations. We have one to be read in the record.
Council President Cal Smith presents Bill number 2098. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby recognize and commend Sergeant of Arms Officer John Svitek for his service to the City of Pittsburgh employees of the 5th floor and for going above and beyond his duties for all employees of the City County building. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Tuesday, October 26, 2021, to be Officer John Svitek Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Captain America, we love you. Amen and amen. That's an inside joke. Those of us here on council refer to our excellent Sergeant of Arms as Steve Rogers, AKA Captain America. The next order of business is public comment. I'd like to remind everyone that the rules of council state that comments are limited to matters of concern, official actions, or deliberation, which are or may be for City Council. Profanity will not be permitted. All right, the first registered speaker is Dr. Ronald Miller. Dr. Miller is first up. We'll get to you, Mr. Ludwig. We'll get to you.
Oh, God.
Dr. Ronald Miller, Bells Hoover, Global Intelligence Society candidate for Mayor 2021. I'm a member of the American Physical Society, the American Chemical Society, the American Society for Microbiology, and the American Mathematical Society. A concern of council is council itself. Do you go? We are near the destructive DPRP frenzied madding crowd gunshoe. The council fears 2 November 2021. In my opinion, I think that we all need a constructive citizen councilor Madding Jamaa, that we need to Yita Yin Gardama over Pittsburgh ordinance formation, that we need Fokyo Waon Discord in Nihongo, and a song by Kei Kazuka 46, a contemporary Japanese musical girl group that I admire, J-Girls who won't say hi. Boku ha, yes, to in Hawaii, kubi ho hate ni furanai. Like Julie Christie's, Bashaba, and Thomas Hardy's Far from the Madding Crowd, a book that we read, my daughters and I, and a film we saw when they were in high school. Changeling blade waifs that are resistant to anyone's control. They say, I say to you, citizens and councilors, quoting Juan Jimenez, yo soy yo, LK. If mayor, I will come through that door behind me to the right, to the mayor's office. I will come through that puerta every week to do public comment as citizen mayor and to take citizen and councilor questions. I and the GIS think that there is Madding Godronga in Oakland Council District 8. In the University of Pittsburgh CMU Interinstitutional Program Center linkage, offering the people there and throughout the city information which is limited and supercilious intelligence, no dy over dx, because councilors Peduto, Gilman, and Strasburger in order have refused to give us the von vo ver was varum of the presence of radioactive cesium-137, cobalt-60, uranium-235 nanotubes, autonomous nanobots, CRISPR-mediated gain-of-function organisms, especially H sub X and sub Y and SARS series CoV-1 and 2. Can any of you councilors and mayor candidates, Ganny or Marina or anybody else, do what I just did over all these disciplines and in Hausa, Nihongo, Espanol, and Deutsch?
Thank you much, Dr. Miller. I struggle with French and a little Greek. I am not multilingual as our friend. Naomi Mullen is next. Ms. Mullen, are you with us?
Good morning.
Good.
My name is Les Ludwig, 6589 Rosemere Street in Squirrel Hill. Remember,
Hello.
Ian, and you'll say, well, Les, why? Why should we write you in when the party said
Am I unmuted?
Moreno are to be the choices? And it's very simple. It really is very, very simple and very, very disheartening. I hold here city paper, Friday, September 27th, 2013, the previous election cycle. And what does it say when you read it? If you substitute Peduto's name, there hasn't been enough change. We're standing still. And the evidence is where? In the death rate, the number of people who are being killed in a year. Wake up. You want to continue to employ, pay from your pocket by taxation people who are leading you down the wrong path? Or is it time to change? To change to Les Ludwig's way of thinking? Because here's what's been happening to me. I was at Walmart. My wife was finishing shopping. I had nothing to do, so I was waiting on the sidelines. And lo and behold, an African-American couple walked up to me and said, "We know you." "You know me? How do you know me?" "Well, we've been watching you for 20 years on city council television time." I said, "Well, did I say anything worthwhile?" "Everything you've said is worthwhile. It's the rest of those people who are not listening. They're playing with their cell phones, not attending council meetings. It's time to bring the public back. Time to say, open the parking lot that used to be right here across the street 2 days a week. Turn and say no parking tolls, no fees, no quarters, no fines on those 2 days. Welcome the public back to the government. You're hiding them. You're hiding from them. So you do whatever you damn please. That's not what our government is supposed to be. We the people. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ludwig. That takes us back, and I apologize to Ms. Mullen. That brings back to Naomi Mullen. Hopefully you're still with us. Ms. Mullen, you're up next.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, there seem to be problems with this *6 unmuting.
You're good
Shady
now.
trees. Okay, shady trees, not shady deals in Bon Air. The Pennsylvania State Constitution says all power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness. Where did elected officials get the idea that they are lording over us? How can they make decisions for our community that we have lived in and been property owners in for decades? How can Gregory Coyle sit smugly at a town hall meeting in opposition to we, the property owners of Bon Air? His response about the parking issue at the building is that the mayor is not going to require it. Is Mayor Peduto his best buddy? No wonder the mayor is on his way out. Our community is not his to make and mold to his will. We, the people of Bon Air, do not consent to this threat to our peace, safety, and happiness. Official oppression has consequences. Significant community concern has been expressed to the Board of Education and the City Council these months since the announcement of the sales agreement for Bon Air School. Perhaps there is a neighborhood busing plan afoot. Block busing is illegal. Is there any lobbying or unregistered lobbying taking place? Are any special friends of Bill Peduto involved in this non-compliant sale? My sincere, consistent request is that City Council create a resolution to block the zoning change and support a green space to replace Bon Air's school building. Do your part for the environment. Reduce urban heat. Reduce watershed to Route 51. Increase green space to benefit all ages and stages. Protect the children at the playground across the street. Let's make it wheelchair accessible to allow those who have difficult access to nature the ability to enjoy it. Tear down detrimental problem buildings, not safe, stable neighborhoods. You want to reduce watershed to Route 51, and this is your opportunity to help that need. And considering that Mayor Peduto is on an international board for green initiatives, I think that he should be on board with this as well. Shady trees, not shady deals in Bon Air. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That takes us to Andrea Wojciechowicz.
Boykowicz. Thank you.
Drew Boykowicz.
Bukowicz. Thank you. Sorry for the mispronunciation. You're welcome to
No worries.
start.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Andrea Boykowicz, and I live in central Oakland on Parkview Avenue. And I work at Oakland Planning and Development Corporation. And I'm speaking today a little off the cuff in great gratitude that you guys are reopening the opportunity to implement and to enforce rental registration, despite the negative ruling that the fees received earlier on this year. To be able to adjust the fee schedule going forward is really an act of good, bold leadership, and I'm very, very pleased that this is something that City Council is taking up again. And I wanted to reiterate that rental registration is a matter not just of public health, but it's central to all kinds of different issues that we're grappling with in Oakland, including affordability and parking, off-street parking, pedestrian safety. It has tremendous repercussions outside of what you might even normally think rental registration is intended to accomplish. So we're very grateful that this is still on the table, and we're very hopeful that this is going to get implemented very soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That takes us to Kevin Quisenberry. Kevin, are you with us? Kevin Quisenberry? Seeing no Kevin, that'll take us to Dawn Lubbock. Lubbock. Carrie
Hello.
with Dawn Lubbock. Yes, hi.
Hello, good morning. I'm Dawn Lubbock, a resident of the North Side, and I am speaking today or taking the opportunity today to talk through a little bit the Pittsburgh Street Lighting Contract Award, currently slated to go to the Efficiency Network, abbreviated as 10, versus Dalkia. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. And so the 10 award, first and foremost, has financial implications. The 10 award is for $16 million versus the Dalkia, which is a $10 million contract. There are obviously a $4 million financial implication between those two bids. Now, admittedly, I am not intimately familiar with budget priorities for the city. However, I am an RN, and especially in a time of public health crisis, I think it is obviously beyond prudent for the city to ensure that those $4 million are spent wisely on part of city residents. Secondly, Dalkia's community engagement platform for citizen-based data, I think is worth ensuring that it receives appropriate examination. I do work with data every day, and I know of the importance that information should be valid and reliable. And this seems to have the potential to provide real-time data obtained directly from residents. As a result, this city could glean actionable insights that are precise. I think most concerning are the reports of dubious contracting practices within the city of Allentown this past summer. And certainly we want to ensure that who is working on behalf of the city residents are held to high standards to provide the appropriate services. So just in summary, obviously there's the $4 million bid difference. There is a community engagement opportunity that would be able to provide data-driven insights, and the concerns that 10 may have been involved in some questionable contracting practices warrant ensuring Dalkia is thoroughly reviewed to ensure that they are not better suited to serve the city of Pittsburgh lighting needs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Elizabeth Gray.
Good morning. My name is Elizabeth Gray. I live on the South Side. For the last 5 years, I have worked as a consultant to Oakland Planning and Development on the quality of the neighborhood environment. In years past, I was in the restaurant business. As a business, restaurants are monitored by health departments with regular inspections that enforce standards put in place for the public's safety. It is time the rental industry is also held accountable for the public's safety, their tenants' safety. During my time in Oakland, I have seen everything from holes in the ceiling to some really big rats, no smoke detectors, basements with no egress rented out as bedrooms, and bathroom ceilings covered in molds. Students are afraid to complain for obvious reasons, including the fear of eviction. Many times I've tried to track down an owner to ask them to deal with an issue, only to fail as the end of my search brings me to a nameless corporation at a post office box, anywhere from here to New York or China. No phone number, no local contact. I am not condemning all landlords, but sadly in Oakland, we have houses packed full of students, way beyond the legal limits, impacting the quality of life for the whole community. The stress put upon Oakland's infrastructure and public services has created what many call a student slum in what was once a safe and enjoyable community. It's time for the rental industry to behave like a business, to be held to the rules and regulations that have been on the books for years. I support the enforcement of rental regulation, not only because of my work with OPDC, but because I'm a tenant. I live in a loft over on the South Side, And I would like to be able to know that my safety is of concern to the city. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That takes us back to Kevin Quisenberry. Kevin Quisenberry, are you here at all? If not, if there are no further speakers, the next order of business will be presentation of papers. We'll start with Councilman Coghill for me, which is Chair of Urban Recreation. Mr. Coghill. Thank you very much, Mr. Coghill.
Councilman Reverend Ricky Burgess presents Bill number 2108, resolution authorizing the mayor and director, the Department of Parks and Recreation, to enter on behalf of the city into a license agreement with the Carnegie Mellon University for the Smart Parks Deployment Project in Mellon Park at no cost to the city. Bill number 2109, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Parks and Recreation to receive grant funding from the United States Tennis Association to reimburse the city for costs incurred by the tennis program not to exceed $4,000. Bill number 2133, resolution amending and supplementing resolution number 844 of 2019, entitled Resolution Establishing the All-In Cities Investment Fund to facilitate and prioritize investments made by the Greater Pittsburgh Affordable Housing Fund. Bill number 2134, resolution establishing an affordable housing grade as part of the Pittsburgh Annual Housing Plan pursuant to resolution number 650 of 2021, effective October 11 of 2021. Bill number 2135, resolution establishing the Greater Pittsburgh Affordable Housing Trust Implementation Committee.
Thank you very much. It takes us to Councilman Coghill, Chair of Public Works.
Sir.
Thank you very much.
Councilman Coghill presents Bill number 2110, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Works on behalf of the city to enter into an agreement with the Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority for coordination of certain work surrounding the operation and maintenance of Liberty Green Park. Bill number 2111, resolution amending resolution number 283, entitled Authorizing the Mayor and Director of the Department of Public Works to apply for grant funding from the PA Department of Community and Economic Development Keystone Communities Grant Program to provide funding for the construction of a community center in the Robert E. Williams Memorial Park, to add language to decrease the amount of the grant, allow the city to accept the grant, and allow the city to spend the funds. Bill number 2112, resolution vacating a portion of Watson Street laid out in the proposed Duquesne Light Company parcel in the lot consolidation plan as recorded in Plan B, Volume 308, page 106 in the 4th Ward, 6th Council District. Bill number 2113, resolution amending resolution number 461, amending resolution 375, entitled Resolution Providing for an Amended Reimbursement Agreement with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for costs associated with the preliminary engineering phase of the Smithfield Street Reconstruction Project and providing for the payment of municipal incurred costs not to exceed $800,000 and the previously authorized municipal share of Commonwealth incurred costs not to exceed $5,000 to increase the total not to exceed to $9,080,000 for the addition of the final design, utility work, right-of-way, and construction phases to the project, federally reimbursable at 80%, and the municipal share of Commonwealth incurred costs not to exceed $47,000, an increase of $42,000 to clarify municipal incurred and total project costs. Bill number 2114, resolution amending resolution number 105, entitled Resolution Providing for an Amended Reimbursement Agreement with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for costs associated with the preliminary engineering phase of the Penn Avenue Reconstruction Phase 2 project and providing for the payment of municipal incurred costs not to exceed $825,000, federally reimbursable at 80%, and the municipal share of Commonwealth incurred costs not to exceed $10,000, to increase the total not to exceed to $1,975,000, federally reimbursable at 80%, and the municipal share of Commonwealth incurred costs not to exceed $18,000, to clarify municipal incurred and total projects costs. Bill number 2115, resolution granting unto New Granada Develop LLC, their successors, and assigns the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense to reconstruct a historical marquee and vertical sign at 2007 Center Avenue in the 5th Ward, 6th Council District. Number 2116, resolution granting unto Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh, their successors, and assigns the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense an entrance ADA accessible ramp at 2178 Center Avenue in the 5th Ward, 6th Council District. Bill number 2117, resolution granting unto Lorlander Family Irrevocable Trust, their successors,
Yes.
and assigns the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense to install a new projecting sign at 5993 Center Avenue in the 8th Ward, 9th Council District. Bill number 2118, resolution granting unto 3 PNC Residential LLC, their successors, and assigns the privilege and license to construct, maintain, and use at their own cost and expense to install a letter set on a low-profile raceway on an existing canopy at 510 Market Street in the 2nd Ward, 6th Council District.
Thank you much. That takes us to Councilwoman Gross, Chair of Intergovernmental Affairs. Councilman Kraus for Councilwoman Gross.
No new papers, Mr. President.
I'm sorry. Thank
I've
you.
been here. You didn't see me.
All right. Do you have any papers?
No.
No new papers. Okay, thank you very much. Councilman Kraus, Chair of Human Resources.
No new papers, Mr.
Thank you
Chair.
very much. Councilman O'Connor, Chair of Public Safety. Mr. Kraus for, is O'Connor here? Mr. Kraus for
No.
the papers. Thank you very much. Councilwoman Strasburger, Chair of Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management.
No new papers, Mr. Chair.
Councilman Wilson, Chair of Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Your papers? Let's skip somebody.
Yes, Mr.
I'll
President.
come back to you. Don't worry about it. Let me do Wilson. I'll get back to you. It's hard when the bodies are not in the chambers.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill number 2122, resolution approving a new institutional master plan under the Pittsburgh Code Title IX zoning, Article 2, Chapter 905, Section 90503D, and Article 7, Chapter 902, Section 92212G for Duquesne University, entitled Duquesne University Institutional Master Plan, dated September of 2021, on property currently zoned EMI Educational Medical Institution District, 1st Ward, Council District number 6. Bill number 2123, ordinance amending the Pittsburgh Code Title IX zoning, Article 1, Section 90203 zoning map by changing from Uptown Public Realm Subdistrict A, the Educational Medical Institution, a certain property at 1323 Forbes Avenue, block number 1L, lot number 42, in the Allegheny County Block and Lot System. A portion of the parcel is currently zoned Uptown Public Realm Subdistrict A. Bill number 2124, resolution approving a new institutional master plan under the Pittsburgh Code Title IX zoning, Article 2, Chapter 905, Section 90503D, and Article 7, Chapter 922, Section 92212G for the Pittsburgh Theological Seminary name institutional master plan, dated October 6 of 2021, on property zone EMI Educational Medical Institution District 11, Council District Number 9. Bill number 2125, resolution further amending Resolution number 863 entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2019 Capital Budget, 2019 CDBG Program, the 2019 through 2024 Capital Improvement Program, so as to reduce community-based organizations by $4,300.29. Increase neighborhood economic development by $4,300.29, and authorize a subsequent agreement.
Thank you very much. That takes us back to Councilman Lavelle, Chair of Finance and Law.
Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Lavelle presents Bill number 2119, resolution providing for the sale of certain property acquired by the city at tax sale items A through F, 1380 Montezuma, 1382, 1384, 1384 Montezuma, and 215 Child Fund, and 1612 Brighton. We got 3418 twice. Bill number 2120, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Finance on behalf of the city to enter into a temporary construction easement and permanent easement with the Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority on certain parcels of real property located at Toboggan Street and Rising Main Avenue in the 25th Ward. Bill number 2121, resolution authorizing pursuant to Chapter 173 of the City Code entitled Commission on Naming Public Properties, Powers and Duties, subsection F. City Council hereby names the park created by the I-579 CAP Urban Connector Project, which spans over a portion of I-579 Crosstown Boulevard and is bounded by the Washington Place, Center Avenue, Chatham Street, Bigelow Boulevard, and includes land to the north of Bigelow Boulevard as Frankie Pace Park. The area in question occupies a lot block numbers, various blocks and lot numbers.
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Yes.
Two things. One, I want to register an aye vote for all the bills under final action, as I have to exit the meeting to attend the funeral in a couple of seconds. Two, motion to waive Rule 8 on Bill 2121 so it can appear on our standing committee agenda later today.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. It will be on this afternoon's standing committee meeting. And now for Councilwoman Kell Smith, there are some chair hearings. Here are some appointments.
Council President Kell Smith presents Bill number 2126, resolution appointing Raymond Robinson as a member of the Citizens Police Review Board for a term to expire October 31st, 2025. Bill number 2127, resolution appointing Lakeisha Kiki Brown as a member of the Citizens Police Review Board for a term to expire October 31st of 2023. Bill number 2128, resolution reappointing Mary J. Greco as a member of the Citizen Police Review Board for a term to expire October 31st of 2025. Bill number 2129, resolution appointing Karen McClellan as a member of the Citizen Police Review Board for a term to expire October 31st of 2025. Bill number 2130, resolution appointing Vivian Lofness as a member of the Art Commission for a term to expire December 31st of 2021. Bill number 2131.
Can we hold the communications, please, Madam?
Yes.
Clerk?
Absolutely.
Mr. Cross.
Could I motion to approve the appointments this morning with very brief discussion?
Second, Ms. Cross.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to thank those that step forward to serve on the Citizens Police Review Board. It is a very, very difficult task we ask them to do. And it can be quite challenging. And it's not for the faint of heart. And I just appreciate that these appointees have stepped up to serve on Citizens Police Review Board, and I'm happy to put them forward with a motion to approve.
Any other conversation? Seeing no other conversation, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, they are approved. That takes us to the communications. Thank you very much, Mr. Former President.
Council President also presents Bill number 2131, communication from John H. Patterson, Executive Director of Pittsburgh Community Television Corporation, submitting PCTV's approved budget and capital plan for 2022. Bill number 2132, communication from Kevin Paulus, Director of the Office of Management and Budget, submitting acting pay approval on behalf of the Department of Public Works for John Maynard and Curtis McCarty per the acting pay policy revised in June of 2018.
I need a motion to read, receive, and file.
So moved.
Second, is there a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposers, nay. That is approved. We will now move to unfinished business. Is there any further unfinished business before council? Seeing none, the next order of business is report of committee for final action. Councilman R. Daniel Lavelle, Committee on Finance and Law. Mr. Kraus for Mr. Lavelle.
Chair.
Thank you very much.
Councilman Lavelle presents Bill number 2102, report of the Committee on Finance and Law for October 27th of 2021 with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1996, resolution amending resolution 452, which authorized the mayor and the city solicitor to enter into a professional services agreement with DeForest, Kosanik, Yokaitis, and Veridinelli for professional legal services regarding ethics matters by increasing the total spend by $25,000 for a new not to exceed amount of $70,000. Bill number 1997, resolution amending resolution 372, which authorized the mayor and the city solicitor to enter into a professional services agreement with Joan Pasadilas for professional legal services for an employment-related matter before the Human Relations Commission by increasing the total spend by $8,019.58 for a new not to exceed amount of $32,019.58. Bill number 1998, resolution authorizing the issuing of a warrant in favor of Francisco Moonen in an amount of $30,000 relating to the full and final settlement of a case filed in the Allegheny County Court of Common Pleas. Bill number 2053, resolution authorizing pursuant to Chapter 210 of the City Code, the mayor and director of the Department of Public Works to accept a donation from Carnegie Mellon University in the amount of $250,000 for the design and construction of playground improvements at 4 Mile Run Playground at Greenfield and Lewis Playground in Hazelwood. Bill number 2054, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of Wheels, Inc. in the amount of $6,526.80 in settlement of a claim for damage to a vehicle from the City of Pittsburgh Public Works vehicle. Bill number 2055, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of Charles Rye Griffin in the amount of $7,067 in settlement of a claim for damage to a parked vehicle for a City Public Works vehicle on December 17th of 2020. Bill number 2090, resolution amending resolution 651 to include rental permit registration fees in the 2021 fee book pursuant to Chapter Code, Chapter 170.
You've heard the read and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Mr. Kraus.
I'd just like to speak to the rental registry. Councilman, you and I, we've been here
Forever.
14 years.
Forever.
14, and this fight. I just think it's an important moment to recognize really our former colleague, Bill Peduto, who is now there. Really was this administration that has kept this alive. Work fight to, I'm sorry, my microphone was off. Should I start over?
Yes.
Yeah, I should. I just wanted to recognize really our former colleague, Bill Peduto, our now Mayor Bill Peduto. This really has been his fight from the very beginning, his passion to see a rental registry created here in the city of Pittsburgh. And it has taken 14 years really for us to get to this point in this fight. But if it really if it wasn't for the commitment of the Peduto administration, I don't think we'd be sitting here today. And as someone who represents a council district that clearly has exceeded the 50% rental mark throughout the entire council district, this bill is imperative for not just for its passage, but for its implementation. And speaking with Chief Gilman, we believe the bill is constructed in such a way that it would stand any scrutiny in the courts, and we hope it does not end up in the courts, and that finally, as a testament to the almost 20 years that Councilman Peduto, now Mayor Peduto, fought for this, that we can actually see it be achieved and actually have a rental registry here in the city of Pittsburgh. So,
Any other comments?
Thank you.
Any other members? I want to certainly echo Mr. Krause's excellent and eloquent presentation. I will add another thing, though, is this will also, I think, allow us to maintain affordability, because I think in the future, there will be owners who will want city resources to maintain their properties. And when we do that, we'll be able to probably put some strings attached to those monies, so for such as, using vouchers and other things. And so this piece of legislation will be very, very forward thinking, not only for the properties as they sit now, but in the future. And so for those of you who worked on this, congratulations. The bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle. Ms. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mrs. Cal Smith. Reverend Burgess, President Pro Tem.
Aye.
I 6, no 0.
Thank you. The bill having received the legally required number of votes is finally passed. That takes us to Councilman Corey O'Connor, Committee on Public Safety Services. Mr. Wilson, I suppose, on behalf of Mr. O'Connor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman O'Connor presents Bill number 2103, report of the Committee on Public Safety Services for October 27th of 2021 with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 2056, resolution authorizing the issuing of a warrant in favor of the Port Authority of Allegheny County in an amount not to exceed $24,702.50 for transportation services provided for the 2019 Pittsburgh Richard S. Calgary Great Race on September 29th of 2019 and September 26th of 2021.
You've heard the read and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mrs. Cal Smith. Reverend Burgess, President Pro Tem.
Aye.
I 7, no 0.
The bill, having received the legally required number of votes, is passed finally. That brings us to Councilman Anthony Coghill, Committee on Public Works.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Councilman Coghill presents Bill number 2104, report of the Committee on Public Works for October 27th of 2021 with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 2046, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Works on behalf of the Shade Tree Commission using funds of the Shade Tree Trust Fund controlled by the Department of Public Works to enter into a corporation agreement for tree-related activities and services with Tree Pittsburgh not to exceed $25,737.69 to enable reimbursement payment to Tree Pittsburgh for work in calendar year 2020. Bill number 2047, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure to execute relevant agreement to receive grant funding from the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation's Green Light Go Grant for the Fiber Network Expansion Project further providing for an agreement and expenditures not to exceed $266,736. The grant requires a match from the city in the amount of $66,684 for a total project cost of $333,420. Bill number 2048, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure to execute relevant agreements to receive grant funding from the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation's Green Light Go Grant for the East End Signal Retiming Project, further providing for an agreement and expenditures not to exceed $132,000. The grant requires a match from the city in the amount of $33,000 for a total project cost of $165,000. Bill number 2049, resolution amending Resolution 22 entitled Authorizing the Mayor and Director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure to execute relevant agreement with the Redevelopment Authority of Allegheny County to receive grant funding to support Homewood Complete Streets Planning Project to increase the amount of grant funding received. Bill number 2071, resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement or use of existing agreement between the city and Brighton Heights Citizen Federation in order that the Brighton Heights Citizen Federation will utilize a part of the first floor of the City of Pittsburgh building located at 3515 McClure Avenue for temporary storage. The term of the lease shall not exceed 12 months. The agreement shall be in the form approved by the city solicitor.
You've heard the bill, you've heard the reading title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Reverend Burgess, President Pro Tem.
Aye.
Ayes 7, no 0.
The bills having received the legally required numbers of votes is finally passed. That takes us to Councilman Bruce Cross, Committee on Human Resources.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much.
Madam Clerk.
Councilman Kraus presents Bill number 2105, report of the Committee on Human Resources for October 27th, 2021, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 2052, resolution amending resolution number 800, which authorized the city to enter into a professional services agreement with UPMC Benefits Management Services for services relating to the administrations of the city's worker compensation program pursuant to the Pennsylvania Workers' Compensation Act by increasing the cost by a sum not to exceed $3,350,662 for an additional 3 years of service.
You've heard the read and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Reverend Burgess, President Pro Tem.
Aye.
Ayes 7, no 0.
Bill having received a legally required number of votes is finally passed. That takes us to Councilman Bobby Wilson, Committee on Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Wilson presents Bill number 2106, report of the Committee on Land Use and Economic Development for October 27th of 2021, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 2057, resolution authorizing the mayor and Department of City Planning to execute relevant agreements to receive grant funding from the U.S. Department of Agricultural, Natural Resources Conservation Service Community Compost and Food Waste Reduction Grant Program to support a municipal composting program feasibility study, and further providing for an agreement not to exceed $90,000. The grant requires an in-kind match from the city in the amount of $28,000. Bill number 2060, ordinance amending the Pittsburgh Code Title VII Business License in Article 10, rental of residential housing, Chapter 781, residential housing rental permit program to change the fee for rental permit registration so as to reflect current practices in accordance with Chapter 170 fees.
You've heard the reading title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill?
Mr. President,
Ms. Gross?
I would like to also, once again, briefly wax about compost. And we had a lengthy discussion last week, and just really enthusiastic, as you know, about this bill, because composting can help us as a city not only reduce the carbon emissions that come from landfills, but also in helping us remediate our damaged urban soils, which can do things like bring down the lead content, so it's safer for children to play in the yards. It can also help revitalize the structure of soils so that they actually are much, much better at stormwater runoff. So we have less runoff and more retention. And then, of course, as I talked about last week as well, bring down possibly vehicle miles traveled, work time, municipal composting. As a function of city government, can actually reduce the tonnage of waste by half. So really excited to get started and fully supportive of the bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other conversation? And Councilwoman Gross, you are exactly right on this issue. You've heard the.
Oh, I didn't know that you were a compost enthusiast as well, Mr. Burgess.
Oh, I think you're right.
I converted you. I converted you last week.
I've always thought you were right.
Glad to hear it.
Just, one of the negative things about being an old preacher is that you're stuck in your ways, right? As I said at the table, I am more like my mother and father every single day. The bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Reverend Burgess, President Pro Tem.
Aye.
Aye 7, no 0.
The bill, having received a legally required number of votes, is finally passed. Pardon? Councilwoman Deborah Gross, Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs.
Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill number 2107, report of the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs for October 27th of 2021, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 2051, resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewer facilities plan for the proposed South Side Works apartment building project located at 2613 South Water Street. Bill number 2081, resolution approving execution of a deed by and between the URA and the city for the sale of Block 31G, Lot 200 in the 31st Ward and Block 32H, Lot 100 in the 16th Ward, Hayes Woods Council District number 5.
You've heard the reading title of the bill. Is there any other discussion on the bill? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus.
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Reverend Burgess, President Pro Tem.
Aye.
Aye 7, no 0.
The bill, having received a legally required number of votes, is finally passed. That brings us to motions and resolutions. Is there anything, any motions from council at this point? Seeing none, the chair would like to make a motion. I'd like to motion to schedule a cablecast public town hall meeting in the community to discuss the City of Peace and the city's violence reduction strategy presently and ideas for the future. I need a motion.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. I have a couple of meeting announcements. This afternoon at 1:30, council will hold their standing committee meeting. Speaker registration for this meeting closes at 12 p.m. today. To register, fill out the sign-up form on the council meetings webpage. You may also call the city's clerk's office at 412-255-2138. On Wednesday, November 3rd at 1 p.m., council will hold a cablecast public hearing on Bill 1885 as it relates to the renaming of the Roberto Clemente Drive to Roberto and Vera Clemente Drive. Speaker registration will close at 11:30 a.m. Wednesday morning. To register, fill out the sign-up form on the council meeting webpage. You may also call the city clerk's office at 412-255-2138. Also, Wednesday at 4 p.m., the School Board Reapportionment Advisory Committee will hold their meeting in the City Stats Conference Room on the 6th floor. On Thursday, November 4th at 10 a.m., council will hold a cablecast public hearing on Bill 1867 as it relates to the residential parking permit program. Speaker registration will close at 9 a.m. Thursday morning. To register, fill out the sign-up form on the council meeting webpage. You may also call the city clerk's office at 412-255-2138. Also, Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock, the Council Reapportionment Advisory Committee will hold a meeting in the council's large conference room. Again, seeing nothing from members. Finally, and Councilwoman Gross, I may call you between meetings if you're available. I may call you between this meeting and the standing committee meeting, just giving you a
Yes,
uh,
hint.
yeah, actually, Councilman Strasburger and Cogle and I are also trying to schedule another call, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of time.
All right, cool. I will now entertain a motion to do three things: to excuse the absent members, to approve the minutes, and to adjourn the meeting.
Moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, say. We are adjourned.